Testing 1 2 1 2. Welcome to House Culture Conversations. DJ Dewey B, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you there, DJ D Lot? Good to see you.
Hey, I cannot complain. Happy Saturday to you. How are things going up there in Chicago?
Fantastic, fantastic. Crime rate going up, murders going up, but we're gonna pray on that. We got to put some prayer on it.
Oh no, I didn't.
Fantastic, fantastic. Crime rate up, murders going up. But
I can. Hey, we on Twitch. We live. We live. And you turn that down. But I didn't think it could go any higher.
No, man, we got a lot of tragedy around here, brother. But we're gonna pray on it. God, be with us.
Well, hey, I tell you what, tonight our guest is going to uplift our spirits. And so whatever's going on, he's going to take us higher. Let's get Cabaso from Las Vegas in the house. Cabaso, how are you?
DG Dilo, unbelievable. Thank you.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. Well, tell folks a little bit about you, where you're from.
Well, the accent gives it away. I grew up in Scotland, a little town called Dundee. I spent most of my adult life in Glasgow and a few years in London as well, where I've been here in Las Vegas for 13 years now, almost to the month. So, it's people ask me, what do I miss about Scotland? Or is it different? I say, well, it's much warmer here. That's my response.
And how did you get into house or into, let's start with music and then ultimately house?
Well, I've always loved music. In the late 80s, early 90s, I was kind of looking for something different. And I can remember when I first heard house music, I think it was probably Daryl Pandy on Top of the Pops.
Daryl Pandy, we know.
Yeah. Now, as it turned into the 90s, well, I turned into my 20s. And so it was natural for us to go out clubbing. And the big genre then was house music. So I got into that, essentially going out clubbing and loving the music and dancing all night.
And when did that turn into DJing?
You know what? Very recently, I first DJ'd. We used to bunk off school in the late 80s, and one of my friends had a couple of 12s, and we would go to his house and just practice on vinyl. That's all we had back then. And then I never really got back into it until Twitch, really. That was it. So I had a 30-year break, and I would listen to my friends here in Las Vegas, Rob Alan, DJ, Doug Mixer, and I thought I'll start doing it again myself. So yeah, I wasn't really doing it often until maybe 2 years ago.
Now that you have, and hey, speak of Robert Lon, he's in the house and the fam is coming on in. Yes, hey, thank you guys for joining us. We are just getting started with Cabaso from Las Vegas. And so, Cabaso, we ask all our guests this: why do you think house continues to thrive almost 4 decades later?
It's a good question. Ultimately, it's the music. If it was bad, no one would listen to it. No one would play it. I watched back your interview with Soul Gasmic, and he had an interesting point where he said, well, it's us, the DJs, that drive it. I think you need more than just the DJs. I think you need people who want to listen to it, want to pay money for it, want to go out clubbing, dancing still. But ultimately, it's great music.
Absolutely. And DJ Dewey B, when you hear Cabaso say, "Hey, it's more than that," what are your thoughts?
I'm going to agree again with another guest. Imagine that, but he's totally correct. The music, and you hit a club and they treat you nicely. They don't harass you at the door, and they let you in, and you get a chance to enjoy yourself and dance a little bit and listen to some music over some nice speakers, a nice sound system. It's a thrill in your heart, man. It makes your life great.
Mm-hmm.
And Cabaso, who have been some of your influences as left and came back into house, DJing? Who've been some of your influences?
Well, we'd have to say my friends here in Vegas. I would quite often be in their home when they were streaming. So I have to give it up to Rob and Doug. DJ Tony's another great DJ here in Las Vegas. And if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be DJing. I probably wouldn't be on Twitch. So I have to give it up to those boys. I believe they're in the chat as well, aren't they? Or at least one of them is.
Yeah, Rob's out there, Bovian's out there, DJ Fusion. We see you. Thank you guys for joining us. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for hanging out with us on House Culture Conversations, talking to Cabaso from Las Vegas. And Cabaso, you talk about streaming. What do you think the impact of streaming has been on the culture?
If you talk about house music culture, I think you have to talk about club culture as well, because that's certainly where I came from. So it's quite different. You know what? I really don't know what it does for non-DJs. I mean, sure, it's all about the music, but for a lot of the time, it's a social thing as well. I mean, when you've got people in the chat saying hello to friends who they haven't met yet, I think that has a big thing to do with it.
So growing community and spreading connections globally. Yeah,
myself, I met Rob and Doug strictly through house music. If it wasn't for house music, I wouldn't be friends with him. And in that time, my time on Twitch, I visited Vancouver. So I met Bulbien through Twitch, through house music. I've been to Calgary. I've met DJ Sarah B. Chicago, Little K1. And just recently, Porsche Live and DJ Pablo Goodell in Miami. So we've kind of taken that club culture, but out with the club, and taken it through Twitch, through a simple app online.
Well, I tell you what, the whole fam is coming in. DJ Russell Joseph says, what's good? Greetings. Now, you said something interesting. For the listeners, you're not sure what they get out of it. Talk a little bit more about that.
Well, certainly, I'm sure they all love house music. But as I said, it could be like a social thing as well. I don't know anyone's life outside of Twitch and the jobs that they have and the people that they meet. But it is a social thing. It's a friend thing. It's like having the club culture, but through an app as well. And I just feel it's a social thing. It could be a social thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. And where do you think it's going to go? Do you see it kind of tailing off? People say, "Hey, that was a thing," or do you think it has some legs and some longevity?
What in particular, DJ Dilo?
Streaming. House DJs streaming.
That'll continue, whether it's on Twitch or not. I don't know. 10 years ago, we were on an app called Stick'em. DJ Russell, he was on there. Rob was on there. That's where I first spoke to Russ, and it's changed since then. Last 3 or 4 years, Mixcloud was the big thing. Now it's Twitch. We'll keep streaming. We'll keep getting the music out there because the house community needs that. Okay, but whether it's on Twitch or not, who knows?
Who knows? DJ Dewey B, what do you think?
Well, you probably know how I feel about it. Everything has a lifespan, you know what I'm saying? We'll move on to the next thing when it comes along. Hopefully it'll be more advantageous for musicians and DJs to make a little bit more paper. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the monetization is something that still they don't have it right. But I will say Twitch is at least giving us the freedom of expression without muting us.
Mm-hmm. No, you do muted.
On the replay, right? They get us on the replay. I know when I go to Cabaso's site to catch the replay, sometimes I'm like, right? Yeah. But at least when we're partying and enjoying the work, they give us a chance to enjoy that.
Right.
Oh my goodness! So Cabaso, one of the things I want to talk about is you have a passion for up and coming DJs. I know I've been in the Twitch streets. You've said, "Hey, here's a streamer you ought to check out. They're talented, and check them out or rate them sometime or that type of thing." Talk about your passion for that.
Well, I'm surprised that you noticed that, but that is something I love to do. I like to be. People should be heard. You know, house DJs, if they have 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the room, and if I'm enjoying their music, I feel more people should listen to them. So I'll big them up. I'll listen to them, and then when they come into my room, I'll make sure that people know about them. And that's I don't know why I do that. I've never really thought about it. It's just something that I do because I feel, for me personally, I would feel a little disappointed if I'm streaming to 3 people. I want more people in, and so I like to do that for other DJs.
Well, hey, that is one of the things I applaud and admire and attracted me to your stream is that, hey, you're looking out for the community. Yes, you enjoy the streaming, you like to play the music, you love the family and friends, but you also have a sense of responsibility to share and spread the culture, which I think is really cool.
I do. Yeah, I think if we keep it going, and more people can be heard, that can only be good. When I'm in my stream and there's a lot of DJs in there, I believe everyone should be following everyone else.
That's a good word, and I've adopted that just because I've seen you do that. I say, hey, everybody follow everybody. It doesn't take anything to take a moment to click the name. If you're not following, follow. And those that are being followed do likewise, right? The do unto others as you would like people to do unto you. And I think that's really cool. I mean, the fam continues to come in, Cabaso, and they're just showing their support tonight. And if you have a question for Cabaso, pass it on in the chat and you will ask that question to him. Bobian says, yes, you're really good at teeing up raids for other DJs and letting other people get exposed to some of these other DJs. Thanks, Bobian, for that. Where do you think this is all headed? When we think about house, we've got streaming, we've got technology. The club scene is now just a channel for the music and people that want to party. But for some of us, Twitch is a channel, especially for me as I get older. I don't go clubbing, right? But I can have the experience kind of like dancing like nobody's watching or singing in my shower. And not hurt myself, right? And sit down before the knees ache. But where do you think things are going?
Like I said before, we'll continue to stream, excuse me. For those that want it, I think the Twitch app will help. Maybe even get some live events. So I'll go full circle. I know a lot of people started during the pandemic, we weren't getting out, we couldn't DJ live, so a lot of people went to Twitch, and I think that'll help us get back there, so people can see us, hear us, and get some live gigs.
One of the other things that you're really good about is the moderator and acknowledging the moderator, the help that the moderator brings in curation and supporting the atmosphere and so forth. We had several on last week just talking about what they do and the importance of the mod. Would you comment on that?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that show, actually. We share a moderator, Dreammaker Diva. So it was, I didn't know too much about Dreammaker Diva. That was the first time I actually saw her, first time I heard her talk. And they were coming up with some great points. Again, going back to the social aspect of the app, and when you've got the chat popping, the moderators really drive that. And it makes it more interesting as well.
Yeah.
So I like to, I give a shout out to my moderators at the end of my stream every single week. They are vitally important. I have some fantastic ones, and I have ones like Bobby N, who are too busy at work. So, um, sorry, Bobby. No, she's fantastic when she's in the stream. But yeah, they are vitally important. I didn't have a mod for a long time. I think Rob became my first my moderator. We were doing a stream for my birthday, and he just made himself a mod. I think the first proper mod I got was actually Porsche Live, and because she had a lot of mods at the time, and she said to me, "You have to have mods; they're very important." And so she told me to make her a mod, and then after that, she said to me, if there's someone in your stream acting like a mod, and they feel like part of the family and they're welcoming people in, they should be your mod. Just ask them." And I have all the mods I have now. I've reached out to them and I said, "Listen, you're part of this family. You're welcoming people in. Why don't I just make you a mod? Make it for real." And I have a great team. I've got really great mods.
And I think you hit it on the head, right? They see things and encourage and support things and put a stop to things. Sometimes the
Yeah.
DJ misses because they're out there focused on the music. DJ Dewey B, when you think about the moderator and what they do to ensure that people are taken care of in that chat, how does that create the experience for the DJ?
Well, it frees you up to be creative, and to acknowledge everyone when you can't actually play and acknowledge everyone at the same time. It just gives you that third hand that you really need.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. There's that creative part. Because to your point, there's been several times when the song is running out because I'm looking in the chat or I'm trying to respond to somebody. I'm like, oh, then you're just all out of sorts and you're just playing something to try to keep the thing going, keep the groove going. But that's a very good point. So, Cabaso, talk a little bit about your set, when you play, when you're on. Tell us a little bit about your schedule.
So it's very simple. I play for 2 hours a week. That's it. I come on at noon Pacific every Wednesday. I play for 2 hours. Now and again, I may do a pop up. I'll do something that I'll do a set that I wouldn't normally play on a Wednesday. The way I see it is my Wednesday set at noon Pacific. It's not necessarily for me. It's for everyone in the chat and the stream. But maybe on a Monday or a Tuesday evening, I might do a jazz set or a jazz house set or a down tempo set, and just do it for myself, but have other people in there. But essentially, if you want to catch me, it's 3 p.m. East every Wednesday. Cabaso _LV.
Now, what's the name of your stream? You title it.
I'm part of Pebbleum House Music. I'm part of that raid train. So prior to me, for 2 hours, is Fern Ribs out of Brazil. He raids me. Normally, I would raid David Househead. He's taking a little break just now, so we're having some guest DJs. Wednesday was Leandro P. The 24th will be Rob Alan. And then after that, we're going to White Castle Music up in Calgary. So it's essentially Pebbleum House Music.
And what does that translate to Pebbleum House Music?
It's very similar to house music. It's foosball. You know, the little football game that you could play.
Right.
It's very popular in Brazil. Actually, when Fern first asked me to become part of Pebbleum, I said, "Okay, tell me about Pebbleum. What is the culture? What is it all about?" And essentially, he said, it's what Brazilians do to come together and have some fun, just like house music. And I liked that message. I like that culture. So I agreed to be part of Pebbleum House Music.
That is awesome. We have a question from the crowd. A lot of people might not know, if they watch you DJ, that you're taking care of business. I mean, you're very gracious, but you're taking care of that music. When you're in the chat, there's this thing that's I've seen you get sent to called the naughty room. And one
Yeah.
of the questions from Bovian is, where did the naughty room come from, and how do you find yourself in the naughty room so often?
Well, first of all, that's grown arms and legs. I'm seeing that typed in so many other people's chat. It's crazy. It first came, I think, it was possibly DJ Sarah B. She gave me like 1,000 berries, and I said to her, "Go to the naughty corner," and that's how it started. And then Bo Bien, she made me my naughty corner emote. So whenever I get a lot of subs or a lot of amount of berries, I'll send people to the naughty corner. But I'll thank them for their generosity as well. So that's how it started.
That's awesome. Now, you didn't answer the question. Why do you end up in the naughty corner? Yeah.
I've just seen DJ Russell Joseph's question. I don't know. I think the answer is about 5 kimonos, Ross. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry,
Why is it so? So why is it important? Is that this one right here? This was a question.
What's your approach and prep, if any, for your Wednesday show? It changes all the time. It's never the same. It just depends how lazy I've been during the week. That's it, really. I can have one track, and then what I'll do, I'll just follow the circle of fifths for the entire two hours. Or also, I may have some new tracks that I want to play, so I'll put them in, and then once they run out, I'll continue around the circle of fifths. Or if I haven't been lazy and I want to do a particular flow, I'll have more tracks in than needed, and I'll just choose which ones I want going through. So it's completely different. It changes every week.
Yeah, yeah. DJ Dewey B, when you are, do you have a difference from how you curate music if you're live versus if you're streaming?
Oh, definitely. Live is based on who you're playing for, simply, for me at least. And streaming, you put a little bit more of your personality into your stream because it's about you. You know, you want people to understand where you're coming from musically, and especially if you're out buying records, if you're out buying music, it makes it more important that you buy stuff that you like and that you can play on your show and show people, hey man, this is something new from DJ D Lot. This is latest. You got to hear this thing because it made me move, kind of situation.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that because Cabaso, you mentioned it earlier, and actually, I think it was DJ Russell Joseph or Rob said they love your Monday pop-ups, and sometimes you go outside of your normal routine and you'll play some different stuff, and you know that allows you to bring your love and versatility to the stream. And to your point, DJ Dewey B, you can't always do that when you're playing live. That's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cabasso, yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
uh, you can completely experiment on the app, whereas there's an expectation live. So I do enjoy my pop-ups, whether it's a Monday or a Tuesday, because I'm getting to play tracks that I wouldn't necessarily put in on a Wednesday. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. Now you had the chance to get down to South Florida and hang out with Portia live. What was that like? I know you did your show with a guest, and you got
Yeah,
to play live with her. What was that? What was that like?
terrible, absolutely terrible. Yeah. We had great fun. I took my speakers first of all when we went up to their apartment. Her and Pablo. We actually met our sister in the foyer of the apartment block, and as we got to the front door, we played Shimza's weekend special, and I just cranked the volume. I didn't even knock on the door or ring the bell. We just played the music until we answered. So that was my introduction to Portia and Pablo, and we just clicked. It was great. We had a fun set. We also did. I was there for Deep Night, by that time, I can't remember too much. I can't even remember. I can't even remember if I streamed, to be honest. I remember we did that, but I was mostly just drinking wine and smoking cigars. And then what we did was after was we sat on the patio on the waterfront and just chatted, and then we went out for dinner the evening after. So yeah, it was a fantastic time, and it was great meeting them both.
That is awesome, and I think that's important as we think about the streaming world. It actually fosters new friendships that turn into real friendships, where people get the chance to DJ together, move outside of just the decks and have fun and dinner and break bread and those types of things. I think that's a really cool aspect of how the culture is emerging and growing. We do have a question for you from That's My Jam. What's happening? That's My Jam. Good to see you. How do you market and get new followers? You talked a little bit about this, but go ahead and dig a little deeper on that.
That's a good question, actually. The only marketing I do, you know what? I don't really do much. I might put something on Instagram and maybe Facebook, but I'm really lazy. I don't do that every week. Get new followers. I don't know. I do spend quite a bit of time on Twitch, much to my wife's displeasure. I like to show support to other DJs, and it's not a case of just getting new followers. I don't care about followers. I care about people who actually come at the chat. There was a time a few months back, I went through some of my followers, people who had never been in my room, and I whispered them, and I actually said, "Would you mind unfollowing me?" And that's really what I did. It's not about the followers; it's the people that are coming into the room. That's the important people to me. And to keep them, you need to play good music that they like. You need to be engaging. You have to have a great mod team, and just make everyone feel welcome so that they come back. Essentially, they want to feel that they want to come back into that room. So yeah, it's not about marketing or Instagram or Facebook or anything for me. If you come in my room, I'd like to see you again. I'll greet you. My mods will greet you, and I hope you have a great time. That's it.
And she came back with, "You are very engaging when you're chatting," and I think that says a lot. And
I talk over every track. I need to stop that.
yeah, Robert Lyon says on Twitch, the chat is the dance floor.
That's a good point, actually. When the chat's popping, I don't think the people are really listening to the music. They're just having when there's conversations going everywhere. I'm cool with that. I love that.
And to cover up a bad blend every now and then.
That's it. Maybe that's why I talk too much. I talk to all my blend.
Oh my God, that's right. We see DJ Russell Joseph. That is a very good point. And I think the other part of the chat for me is when I see people chatting, I know they're enjoying themselves. Yeah, that means at least I'm not turning them off with the music, right?
Exactly, yeah.
They're enjoying the chat, and you're not messing the groove up too bad.
You're helping the environment. You're helping the chat flourish.
That's it. Your background. You're the background for the chat. That's it. That's it. And I agree when DJ Dewey B comes in, he's like, "Hey, what's happening, y'all?" It's like, Dewey's here. It's like the old days when you used to walk into a party and your boy walks in, you're like, "What's up?" It's the same feeling. And to your point, when people are not engaging, it's like a hollow sound. It's like the music's playing, but there's another voice that is missing, and that's that chat. Now, you make a very, very good point there. Wow. Well, hey, dance floor with Bobby, the dance floor with a sea of dad jokes.
Are my jokes that bad, Bobby? Maybe just stop talking altogether. I should just get rid of my mic, really.
No, no, please keep the mic. I would tell you, there are many times you can come in from a bad day or not feel, inspired or encouraged. And sometimes somebody said something in the chat that makes you giggle, laugh, and, just changes the whole kind of
Yeah,
trajectory of your day sometimes.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, without my mic, the naughty corner would never be out there.
The naughty corner it is. Hey, well, any last questions for Cabaso as we let him get on with his day? I appreciate you stopping by, sharing from your heart, talking a little bit about, what house culture is to you, what it means to you, and your contributions. As I said, what you do for up and coming next generation, future generation DJs is notable. And I've learned a lot from watching you do that. Oh, wait a minute. Bobian laughed. So she said, keep up the dad jokes. She laughed so hard, she can't catch her breath sometimes.
I like to make Bobby laugh. Uh, we mod for each other, myself and Bobby. I like to make her laugh because on her stream, because I can see and hear her, whereas when she's laughing in my stream, I don't. So I like to push the envelope a little bit when Bobby in stream.
Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us on House Culture Conversations. It's been a lot of fun.
It's a
Hey,
pleasure.
we've got a raid somewhere.
All right. So are you asking me first
I'm
suggestion?
asking you. I'm asking the master.
Oh,
Yes.
no,
Where are we going?
let's go to. I don't have Twitch on, but I'm sure he's still playing. DJ Alexander Sasha from Toronto.
Okay. All right. I will find him. I see him. Let me make sure I spell it right. All right, Twitch, we about to turn up the music because that's what we like to do. Hey, Yogi Chick, you're never too late. We will put this out there so you can check it out later, but I'll let you say hello to the man himself, Cabaso from Las Vegas. We appreciate you guys so much. We're going to get you over to DJ Alexandra Sasha. And
I see
you want to
Bobby
get
N. I'm going to be modding for Bobby N in approximately 40 minutes or so.
ah. So if you guys want to see Cabaso at work as a mod in about the next 40 minutes, check him out on
Telling
Bobian.
terrible jokes, yeah.
All right, let's see if I did that right. Okay, you guys, we are going to head over and start your party right with DJ Alexander Sasha. And thank you guys for joining us so much on House Culture Conversations. We'll see you next time.
Peace.